Good evening, Philippines. Live from Pag-asa Weather and Forecasting Center, here's our latest weather information. The low-pressure area has already intensified into a tropical depression. As of 4 p.m. today, it was estimated at 420 kilometers west-northwest of Sinait, Ilocos Sur. The weather disturbance remains outside the Philippine area of responsibility, and according to Pag-asa weather forecaster Alvin Pura, there is a slim chance for it to enter Philippine area of responsibility within 24 hours. However, the tropical depression is expected to enhance the southwest monsoon or hanging habagat that will continue to bring rains, particularly in Luzon. And for tonight's weather forecast, Batanes, Babuyan Group of Islands, Ilocos Region, Cordillera, and the of Zambales, Tarlac, Bataan, Pampanga, and Bulacan will experience monsoon rains. Meanwhile, here in Metro Manila, Cagayan Valley, Calabarzon, Aurora, Nueva Ecija, Mindoro, and Palawan, we will have occasional rains, and the rest of the country will have partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers or thunderstorms. And for our fishermen and those who have small sea crafts, all are advised not to sail or venture out into the seaboards of northern and western seaboards of northern and central Luzon, and also here in the western seaboards of southern Luzon. This gale warning is for your safety against big waves generated by the surge of the southwest monsoon. When we return, we are going to talk more about stars. Last week, I have shared to you how long stars live, and we have learned that it depends on their masses. Let's take a glimpse on what's behind those shining stars in the sky after this short break. Before we discuss the life cycle of stars, let me just give you a trivia about our moon. Tonight, June 13, 2014, the moon will be at its full illumination. Full moon falls on Friday the 13th, and because it's rare, it became one of the topics in science news. According to National Geographic, the full moon that we have right now is also called the honeymoon, due to its honey-colored appearance in the night sky. The moon appears to be different from other full moons this year because when the sun's path across the sky is on its highest during the month of summer solstice, the moon is at its lowest. The moon also appears to be more amber due to the scattered wavelengths of light by dust and pollution in the atmosphere. On the other hand, like humans, stars also have their life cycle. A star has a beginning, but it also has its Stars begin their life in nebulae, also called the birthplaces of stars. A nebula is a cloud of gas mainly composed of helium and dust in space. The color of a star depends on its temperature. The hottest stars are blue, while the coolest stars are the red ones. After reaching the nebula, the stars condense into a huge globule of gas and dust and contracts under its own gravity. A region of condensing matter will begin to heat up, and as it glows, protostars will be formed. If a protostar contains enough matter, the central temperature could reach as high as 15 million degrees Celsius. And with this kind of temperature, nuclear fusion occurs in which hydrogen fuses to form helium. Next, the brown dwarf. Brown dwarfs are substellar objects too low in mass to sustain hydrogen-1 fusion reactions in their cores, unlike the main sequence stars. The stars begin to release energy, stopping it to contract and causes it to shine. It is now referred to as the main sequence star. And the next stage, the red giant, which is formed when the star helium at its center. Red giant occurs when the outer layers begin to cool, expand, and shine less brightly. The remaining core, which is about 80% of the original star, reaches its final stages. When the star cools and dims, it will be a white dwarf. If it stops shining, the dead star is called the black dwarf. Well, the previous stages are applicable in both small and massive stars. However, massive stars can undergo other stages after what we have mentioned earlier. A series of nuclear reactions occur, forming various elements around the iron core, and the core tends to collapse, causing an explosion, and that's what we call the supernova. But there can be instances that core survives the explosion. If the surviving core is between 1.5 to 3 solar masses, it contracts to become a neutron star. On the other hand, if the core is greater than 3 solar masses, the core contracts to become a black hole. And that's the life cycle of a star. And since the sun is also considered a star, let's now proceed with our sunrise and our sunset. Don't forget to start your day right. You can rise and shine with the sun at 5:26 in the morning and find time to relax with the sunset at 6:26 in the evening. And that's the latest weather information. This has been your weather lover, Amor Larrosa. Good evening.